Good afternoon, and welcome to our meeting regarding our training and development program. To find the success and to meet our goals and mission of providing high quality products to our consumers and our mission of being the top and the best in the industry, we need to address our missing pieces in our manufacturing process. Our overall goal is to attract new employees, retrain, and develop quality employees. Manufacture a high-quality carburetor that meets the expectations of our consumers. So, while evaluating the training program, we took part in evaluating the information given from the current sources and making suggestions on how to move forward. So, the following is from our current training protocols. It's once a manufacturing person is hired, they will attend a half-day training session about the company. The agenda for the session is attached in our previous documentation. Upon completing their orientations, they're assigned to a work area, they meet their supervisor, they assign another employee to then train that individual. And then at some point, they are given information on a safety meeting. When observing that document and the protocols of the current training procedures, the consultation firm as well as the HR department found deficits in the training process. Training provided by an employee of the leadership's choice. People that are chosen to train that are not trained in training don't necessarily understand what it means to be a trainer. So some of the questions that need to be addressed was, has the specific trainer been trained on how to train a new employee? Do they know the difference in individual learning styles? And was that person that was chosen trained on the current SOPs, or was that individual working from old SOPs that we found was part of the problem in the process? A point of concern is dealing in manufacturing also that was brought to the attention of the HR department was new employees are trained at some point in a 3-month time period on safety. It is the advice of the HR department that safety is one of the very first training classes that the individuals attend. Additional notes regarding training. The existing training documents will be evaluated and adjusted to meet the expected learning outcomes from in-class information and on-the-job training. In addition, individuals that are chosen to train will attend the Train the Trainer class to understand the different learning styles of employees. To find the success that the company is looking for, those that are teaching the information need to understand that individuals learn differently. Implementation of evaluation processes and the standard operating procedures. This is a topic that we need to address, as in with documentation that has been left on the training floor that is outdated, which then leads to a product that's not developed to the highest quality. So in utilizing the SOPs, the HR team and line level leaders will partner in developing a new operating procedures that include implementing evaluations. The evaluations will be written, demonstrative, and verbal, including all learning styles, so that employees can feel as if they can demonstrate their skills according to their strongest learning style. At the time jobs are posted, the job description will list the following under the heading of essential functions, and this is in addition to the assisting bullet points. And it is the belief of the HR department that the implementation of the education program is an essential part of the success of Macro Enterprises. So the learning opportunities to create employment success on daily operations. This is in the form of classes hosted by the People's Resource Community College. These classes will list the information in a classroom setting that needs to be addressed. The learning outcomes will be evaluated on a quarterly basis to ensure product quality and employee efficiencies. Ways to measure and quantify the success. Due to the needs to address multiple standards, the company will use the SMART goals. philosophy. This goal setting method is widely used and is easy for line leaders to understand and follow. The following will be assessed by the HR department to be presented to leadership and the executive team. Please feel free to read through how SMART goals will be addressed. Moving on to a timeline of collection of the data. This is where all of the culmination from what our teams are going to be doing comes into play. It's incredibly important for us to continue to have a timeline and understand that this is a fluid training document. So in week 1, the line leaders will collect data. They're going to observe and collect data on how training is being done. This will go over a 3-day process. This is going to give individuals the chance to show how they learn and how trainers are training. On Thursdays, all that data will be presented to HR, and then on Friday, HR will send the data to the leadership and executive team. This will give those in leadership the ability to read over the information and then input their thoughts and processes. So in the second week, line leaders address training gaps for individuals. From the observation and collection of that data, line leaders are going to be able to see what's missing that trainers either are not providing or employees are not understanding. On Monday, the trainers work with employees to address training gaps. This is where they're going to have those conversations of what works and what doesn't work, what they need to know, what they don't need to know. All that's going to proceed throughout the week until Thursday, and then trainers send an update on trainees to HR for further evaluation. HR will then report to leadership and the executive team regarding the week's assessments. In the final week, which would be week 3, evaluation of the success of the training programs with the trainers and line leaders. HR team is going to get together and discuss this with the leaders and the trainers and have an open dialogue so that the document can be fluid and changes can be made if necessary. Throughout the week, the trainees are going to be assessed on the manufacturing floor. That's going to be that OJT training where they have their hands on and can show what they've learned throughout their training process. Then they will be given a written assessment. This written assessment will be in the classroom. They're going to have the ability to then have a tangible document in front of them and answer that way, which also leads into for those who are visual learners. And finally, at the end of the training process, those trainees are going to have the ability to evaluate their trainer. This is where they're going to be able to communicate if they feel that those trainers were giving them what they needed in all levels of training. At the end of the week, all training documents are provided to HR, and HR communicates the successes and needs assessments moving forward. Training should be a fluid process. Consistent training is a key factor to the success of macro enterprises. The HR team examined Kirkpatrick's 4-level training framework to better plan the training program for macro enterprises. In doing so, there is a listed information within that training document. However, one of the key pieces is reaction. In evaluating the trainers by the trainees, the company learns where the trainers may also need to be trained in their communication or training styles. The reaction of the trainees provides the information to HR on how to successfully train in the new programs. This is another way to measure the success of the new program. Another piece is learning. The stepped process of written evaluation in addition to the OJT evaluation will give the HR department the information needed to quantify the learning process, but also the employee's retention of the training. Behaviors and results go one in one. The demonstrated behaviors of producing a quality product will show the success of the training program and that the employee is proficient and can enter the production floor trained. The results, the last step, is producing the results that meet the company goals and mission of providing a high quality product. This step will quantify the training program from evaluation, OJT, and the classroom segment. The final piece to this, in presenting it to our executive team, is the HR team and the consulting firm have concluded the information provided will address the issue of deficits in the production process at macro enterprises. The issue addressed are carburetors reaching clients in disrepair, leaving our clients dissatisfied with the product and the company. The HR team also evaluated leadership, company culture, and communication regarding the company merger. The items addressed are company-wide meetings, training for trainers, and diversity and inclusion training. Break rooms and areas where teams meet are being revamped to meet the needs of a larger team. The steps taken in training now include the TPRCC and the formation of classes that meet the company requirements. This is in addition to OJT, where employees will receive hands-on training. It is the recommendation from the HR department that these processes are evaluated on a continuous basis. The HR team will continue to support the strategic success of Macro Enterprises. We'd like to thank you for coming today to hear our training program and plan. Should there be any questions, we would be happy to meet with anyone from the teams to continue the success, and HR looks forward to being part of the success program moving forward here at Macro Enterprises.